The 2023 NFL Draft is on its way. We are only 3 days until the draft. The 49ers are getting prepared to dominate in the NFL Draft. And when I say dominate, I mean dominate. Stick around. We're going to talk about it right here on the Wayne Breezy Show. Let's have a good time, baby.
Breezy this, breezy that. They know I'm gold-blooded. I got the Niners on my back, you know. Breezy this, breezy that. Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact.
Ain't nobody working like Breezy, and that's a fact. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, faithful? What's going on, everybody who's not a faithful that wants to become a faithful? Because I know why you want to be a faithful. We're the greatest team on earth. Shout out to everybody out there. The Breezy's Bunch is definitely in the building early. Starting off with my girl, Miss Jax Knox is in the building. Good morning, Breezy and Faithful. Let's have a great show, and I'm excited about the draft this week. She also hashtagged the BB. Boss is in the building. What's going on? BB King, good morning, Niner fam. Let's dominate this draft, baby. So many power moves. I like that you put that. So many power moves. Hold on to that. All right, what's going on, Raphael? 562 is in the building. Good morning, Breezy and everyone. I love it. Mike Ing is in the building with the hashtag BB. Uncle Scott's in the building. What up, Breezy and family? Hashtag BB, the one and only Troy. No, that's my guy. This is my guy, right? Because I'm hoping we draft your guy, Jamie Robinson. So whatever you got to do, slip him something and say, listen, man, hold out on the other teams. Make sure you join the 49ers. That's not how it works in the draft, guys. I'm just putting it out there. But shout out to my man Trey. Good morning, Breezy and family. Draft week, hashtag BB. The one and only Miss Debbie is in the building. Good morning, Wayne. Blessings to everybody in the chat this morning, especially all the Breezy Bunch members, the Breezy Bunch crew. That's what I like to call you, the BBC. Hey, did y'all remember to hit that like button? Make sure you hit the like button, all right? VZ408 is in the building. Hashtag BB in the building. Let's go. Me, B. Good morning, Breezy. Good morning, Faithful. Bang, bang. I'm going to add the Niner gang. Shout out to Fernando. My man Eric's in the building. Kylie's in the building. Bro, very nice. I see a lot of you guys are in here. Paul, all the way from across the pond, actually from the future. Paul is from the future, guys. If you've never seen Back to the Future, you don't have to watch the movie. You can just hit up my man Paul. He's right there. I got to give a special shout out to the one and only Troy No for being a member for 5 months. He's on that Breezy's Bunch silver package. And if you want to become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, which I'm hoping everybody wants to be a member of the Breezy's Bunch crew, all you got to do, all right, is click the join button. All right, there's a join button right there on the show. Click it. Promise you won't miss out. All right. Don't forget to like. Miss Debbie already asked you guys to like. Don't forget to comment. Leave a comment. We got the live comment section going on right now. If you happen to watch the show a little bit later, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to the comment. And also, if you are new to the channel, very new to the channel, and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. The link is right there below. The link is in the description of the show, or you could just put in at the Wayne Breezy. It'll be right there. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Leave a 5-star comment. And on Twitter, you can follow. And if you want to subscribe on Twitter, which you can, you'll get exclusive things from moi and the team. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Yes, YouTube has subscriptions as well. I'm working on putting together new packages for everybody out there. Once football season kicks off, so it's going to be really interesting on Twitter. Trying to make Twitter a lot more fun than what it is. It could be very toxic, but I'm going to do my best to, block out the toxicity and have some fun for those that are subscribers on Twitter. But at the Wayne Breezy, if you just want to follow, make sure you do that. You could do that as well on Instagram and Facebook. I don't know what's going on my Instagram account, but it's just going through like this cleansing or something like that. Every now and then you got to go through a cleansing. I feel like Instagram isn't pushing the stuff out there, but you know what? Have no fear. We're going to keep posting. Shout out to all the moderators and those that are running the Instagram account. We're trying to push it out there. Shout out to E, PG, Steve. Appreciate you guys, all right? And for exclusive content, if you're not a member of the Patreon, I've been pumping out daily content daily, and you can go ahead and become a member of that. There's really good packages over there. As the football season progresses, of course, I'll do more content for you guys, but it's exclusive to only the Patreon members. So if you want more Breezy throughout your week, www.patreon.com/Wayne Breezy. All right, make sure you check that out. And again, here's the link. Make sure you guys go to the website too as well, www.twben.com. There you'll find the apparel, all right, where you can get some cool stuff. Right now I'm rocking the Wayne Breezy, the all white tee. You can't really see. Bam. All right. And then on the back, it's got the Breezy going down the back, man. Help support the brand, man. I truly would appreciate it. I'm working on getting the shop up there on YouTube to make it easier for you guys to support, as well as getting the shop on Instagram. So bear with me. Stuff is going down. And I promise there will be new news from your boy Breezy this week from 49ers Web Zone. I feel like I'm in a writing mode, but shout out to all the writers over there. My little brother Rohan is killing the game. Shout out to David. Everybody that's out there that's putting out this 49ers content from 49ers Web Zone and the family over there, Sasha, all you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you go to www.49erswebzone.com. All right, to check out all the latest and greatest news of the San Francisco 49ers. Woo! That was a lot. I got to give myself a touchdown. Giving myself a damn touchdown for that one. That was a bid. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, what happened this past weekend? NBA playoffs. You got the NHL playoffs. You had a big fight this weekend, which I still don't know. Yo, my friend put it like that Tank came out to such and such and such, and so I immediately thought it was the singer Tank. And so, like, I was just like, I'm way off. But it wasn't. It was a boxer. So you had a big boxing match this weekend. And so a lot of little things went down. But for the 49ers, because this is that type of show, I do want to recap some of the things that happened in 49ers world. All right. Now, we did have a birthday, which Juszczyk's birthday, I believe, was on yesterday. So happy birthday to Kyle Juszczyk. All right. Or Juice Check. That's what we like to call him. All right, so happy birthday. Again, the NFL draft is this week. Just want to put a reminder out there, April 27th through the 29th. The 49ers currently, as of right now, won't draft until the 28th. Draft does start on the 27th. Just want to make sure you guys are there on Thursday, and you guys don't forget, because the 49ers may just trade up. They may possibly be there on Thursday and have a dope draft, right? Who knows? We'll find out. All right. So definitely make sure you guys check that out or whatnot. All right. Let's get to what happened this past weekend. All right. So on today's show, we want to talk about the Brock Purdy standing ovation. Brock Purdy attended a San Francisco Giants game. All right. For those out there in the Bay Area, if you're a Niners fan, you're probably a Giants fan, and you're a Golden State Warriors fan, and I think you're a San Jose Sharks fan. I don't know. I'm not from the Bay Area, even though I'm faithful to the Bay. I'm faithful to the Bay via the 49ers. Other than that, I like my Mets, I like my Celtics, and I like my Boston Bruins. That's kind of who I am. That's who I'm going to be, and it's never going to change. But if you are faithful to the Bay, Brock Purdy attended the San Francisco Giants game, and they gave him a standing ovation. Now, I'm going to play it. Let's bring it back to the top so you can see he's getting the fanfare. All right, Brock Purdy 5-0, which means no ties. So 5 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties, regular season record as the starter in 2022, and he received the standing ovation for this. I like that question, Mimi B. I promise I'll answer it toward the end of the show. So I'm going to star it. All right. I promise you I'll get to that question. But let's talk about Brock. And Brock received important right there. All right. So we're looking at Brock. Now there's a couple of things you notice about there's the arm again. So there's no brace on the throwing arm. Last time I checked, Brock Purdy was right-handed. There's not a brace. So he waved the arm. He also, look, this is good news. The best news about this is that Brock Purdy isn't in the cast, which I talked about earlier last week. Brock Purdy's no longer in the cast. He was going to be attending the offseason program with the 49ers. Now, he's not throwing, all right, or anything like that. He's not doing any of that type of stuff. But the fact that he's no longer in the cast and he's actually have some really good movement in that elbow is really, really, really good stuff. All right, it's really, really good stuff. All right, so that's something interesting to, keep an eye on. Brock Purdy standing ovation. I do want to talk about the standing ovation because why was he getting the standing ovation? Like, I know I'm not trying to be a butthole, but I'm just trying to figure out, is it because he went 5-0? I'm trying to figure out, because what did he win? I'm not sure what he won. I get the F the Mets stuff. That's cool. I understand. Listen, we tied it. It's 2-2. That's how that series ended up going. We won 2, y'all won 2. Boom. I ain't saying F the Giants. Man, y'all some rude Mickey Fickies, but I tell you, man, Jason, that hurt my soul. But let's talk about the standing ovation real quick. And I promise. No, look, he I thought he went 7-0. Wasn't it 7-0? Oh, I guess you're going to give him the Miami Dolphins win, even though Jimmy Garoppolo got the start. He doesn't necessarily get the win. So 8-0. Okay, 8-0 is cool. Still, what the hell did he win? Like, at the end of the day, they're just games. Maybe this is how I know Brock Purdy is the man going forward. The fact that he received that type of fanfare, Brock Purdy is looked down upon like he's about to be the guy for San Francisco. He just may be that franchise quarterback that the team has been looking for. And so, look, it's all good. I'm not mad that they gave him a standing ovation. I'm just trying to figure out. Usually, when you get a standing ovation, it's like it's something you've done, like some type of accolade, or you're coming back from a crazy injury. There it is. He's coming back from a crazy injury, right? There it is. That's what it is. It's got to be that. Other than that, he just kind of won some games, and we're going to keep it moving. But congratulations to Brock Purdy. I'm so happy for Brock Purdy. Or whatnot, and things like that. Now, I see that, Lake City Fresh put out there, his dad used to pitch for the Giants. That's true. His dad used to pitch for the Giants, and they're real close friends with a lot of the team people in the organization and things like that. But then Father Brock should have been getting the standing ovation if his dad pitched for the Giants. I'm just a butthole. I'm putting the stuff out there. I'm happy he's no longer. I'm keeping it positive, maybe. I promise there's nothing negative about it. I just want to know why we giving this dude the I'm cool with giving people flowers and stuff, but I mean, he ain't win anything yet. Like, if he won a chip, I'm standing, I'm getting him a drink, I'm doing all that type of stuff. But I am happy that Brock is gonna be here or whatnot. And things like that. Jason says, Breezy, did you see Trey at the Texas Rangers game when Trey was throwing at TCU? I didn't see him at the Rangers game, but I did see him at TCU. I'm just curious, Jason, because I didn't see this. I didn't see it. I'm just asking a question. Did he get the standing ovation too? I'm just asking. It's just a question, not trying to start anything. Bebop says we did that with Jimmy. Yeah, we did. We did do it with Jimmy. You know what? Maybe as fans, we're just keeping it consistent. Listen, remember, I'm a 49er fan. He's at a Giants game. I'm just, it's an area thing. And I think they just love what we have. I don't think it mattered who the player was. And so this is really cool, man. I'm glad that Brock's getting the fanfare. But again, this is telling me that Brock Purdy is something to reckon with, and the 49ers sound like they're going to be all in on this kid going forward. So this is good news to talk about. So that was Brock Purdy's standing ovation and things like that. Speaking of Trey Lance, it's a perfect segment to Trey Lance. I wanted to read to you guys some things from Trey Lance this past weekend. So just bear with me, having them up here on my screen. So Trey Lance was at his brother's spring practice. It was the last practice for the North Dakota State University, the Bisons, their last practice of their spring practice regimen. And Trey was in attendance for his brother. He was showing support to his brother Bryce. And, Bryce was out there catching passes, running routes, doing all that good stuff. Bryce is a wide receiver for those that don't know Bryce Lance. But Trey was there, and then Trey was interviewed. He was interviewed by a local media outlet called The Forum. All right. And they asked him a couple of questions, and he had some responses. All right. So the first question that they asked him about the recent trade speculation, and in quotations, this is not Breezy's words. These are Trey Lance's words from the quotations. Okay. He said that I got no comment on that. And I have no information. So he immediately tried to probably shut down the trade speculations and things like that, and stuff like that. But he did also said, this was the quote that I really liked the most. He says, but I am just excited for this year. All right. This offseason, just focusing on getting better, focusing on getting these guys better in the locker room and just being a great teammate, great leader. That to me resonates for me. I want to make sure you guys are aware that he's saying these things. He said he wanted to start focusing on making himself better. And I felt like we've heard this before, right? Like, it's important to make sure that you're whole and you're at your best, you're at 100%. And so Trey Lance is doing that, right? Because that's the only way he said that he can focus on making his teammates better. And so that's something to kind of like really grasp a hold of. You heard Trent Williams speak really high at Trey Lance last season, right? Like, he said some really, really good things about him. Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, like they all, they talk positive about their quarterbacks and things. But I felt like Trent hit the nail on the head and things like that when it came to Trey Lance. So very interesting that Trey is, focusing on making sure that he's taken care of. And I think when he's talking about focusing on himself, me personally, the way I'm reading this or responding to this is making sure that he finds a way to stay healthy for all the games this particular season, right? Because ever since Trey Lance entered the NFL, he's found ways to get dinged up. And then, unfortunately, last season, Trey Lance ended up suffering the season-ending surgery. And so he ended his interview with this: "I'm all cleared, so I'm good to go. I got cleared a little over a month ago, so I'm feeling really good, and let's get back to work." People were asking me, yo, has Trey Lance been cleared? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember it coming out. I don't remember it being released. And hey, maybe it wasn't released on purpose, but Trey Lance came out and said to the forum, he said that, hey, I'm all cleared. I've been cleared about a month ago. I'm feeling really good and I'm ready. Let's get back to work. Perfect, right? And so what have we been seeing from Trey Lance? Him getting back to work, him working out, him throwing drills, all right, with the MVP Patrick Mahomes. Just him doing things to make himself better so that he can make his teammates better. I know a lot of people feel like there's not enough good news or enough good things to say about Trey Lance, and I'm giving you good news. So if you're missing out on this good news, shame on you, because to me, this is great news from 49ers quarterback Trey Lance. Clip that up, put that in a damn segment. It's good news. All right, so Trey Lance is out there working, guys. Trey Lance is out there working. All right. Let's talk about Kyle Shanahan's presence, last but not least, before we kind of talk about the John Lynch pressure that's coming up today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Kyle Shanahan, head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, attended game 4? Do I got this right, guys? Isn't it tied up 2-2? Yeah, so game 4 of the Warriors-Kings series. NBA playoffs are on and popping. And the Warriors were down 2-1. And so let's talk about Kyle Shanahan's presence. I felt like they gave him a standing ovation too, so I can't, bump it. You know what? This is what I'm learning about standing ovations. The Bay Area supports the Bay Area. I love it. Round of applause to the damn Bay Area. Doesn't make sense to be crabs in a damn barrel, okay? It doesn't make sense to be crabs in a damn barrel. Support the damn Bay Area. Support your team. I wish it was like that. Lake City, where you at, bro? I wish the music game was like that, right? If I put out a song in my state, as small as my state is, everybody should go out and at least download the damn song, right? But that's not how it works. Usually, like, down south will get it first and they'll show more. I just never understood that. But shout out to the Bay Area, supporting the Bay Area. Kyle Shanahan's presence. Let's talk about it, because did Kyle Shanahan bring some good juju to the Golden State Warriors? Right? They won the game. It was close. It was a nail biter, Who missed the final shot? Was it Harrison Barnes? Can't remember if he took the final shot. I felt like he did. But it was a nail biter. But Golden State looked pretty darn good, and they just couldn't stop Fox, right? The kid is just too fast, too good, whatever. You can tell Golden State is starting to get a little bit older, All right, they're starting to get a little bit older, like a little bit slower, things like that. But they're still a great team, and they're still in it. And now the series is tied 2-2. Thank you, 49er Media. He said it was Barnes. Speaking of 49er Media, check him out tonight. He'll be on the Nitty Gritty Niners talk show doing a live 3-round, full-round mock draft. 49er Media will be controlling the San Francisco 49ers. All right, we're all going to pick a team. It's going to be kind of cool. We're going to have some fun tonight. And so, yeah, like, I was asking you, Lake City, like about supporting in your own local area and why it just never seems to be like that for some reason when it comes to support, you being a music artist and things like that. And we were just talking about how the Bay Area does support those out there, especially in sports. Kyle Shanahan got a standing ovation. He got the joint on the jumbotron. They took care of Kyle, right? I felt like Kyle's juju though was enough to get the Golden State Warriors, tie this series up. So maybe Kyle Shanahan will be at the remaining Golden State Warriors games, or maybe he needs to travel out to Memphis for the next game, which I just don't think he will because the NFL draft will be taking place during that particular game. Interesting. But I felt like Kyle brought a little juju to the Golden State Warriors. And for all the Golden State Warrior fans out there that were worried, why? Why were you worried about the Kings? I meant to say Sacramento, not Memphis. Sacramento. Why are you worried? I get it. They're a high scoring team. They're dangerous. I get it. But y'all the Warriors. Y'all the Warriors. It's enough for y'all to take down the King. I will say that at that. So my apologies for saying the wrong team. So maybe Kyle will attend an away game because it's only up the street, right? How far is Sacramento from the Bay? It's not that far. I don't think it's that far. Me personally. I said the wrong team, but yeah, you know what I meant. Lakers got Ja Morant. Shout out to Peachy and her Lakers too. I love NBA playoffs, man. It's cool. Speaking of playoffs, my team ended up winning. Shout out to the Celtics. It's 3-1. Got to get it done in Boston, baby. Just the way they had it signed up. Got to get it done in Boston. Let's talk about John Lynch. He will be speaking today to the media at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is noon Pacific Standard Time. All right. Now, I have a poll question going on. And during that poll question, there are a couple of, there are a few options up there about what John Lynch possibly will be addressing during this particular presser. And I want to know, what do you feel like he's going to address the most? Now, we got about 62 votes out there. We got about 70 plus people watching the live show. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. I'm not seeing the likes compared to the amount of people that are watching it live. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not watching it on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube, hit the like button, and go back to Facebook if that's where you're watching it, or go back to Twitch if that's where you're watching it. All right. Because if I want you to participate in the poll question, and I realize that the poll question only shows up on YouTube. So if you want to participate in that, you got to watch the show on YouTube. Just open up a couple of browsers, watch it on all three. All right. So there it is. Right. And so I'm curious to know, like, what are they gonna ask John about? I feel like, where's Gotcha at? I like that because I know Grant has something up his sleeve. Right? He has something up his sleeve. I know Grant has something up his sleeve. He's going to ask something juicy. I wonder if it'll be any one of these type of questions. All right. Quarterback competition, Brock Purdy's recovery. I mean, I feel like we already know that answer. I feel like we know the answer about the quarterback competition. Trading Trey Lance. Now, I don't expect John Lynch to give much away when it comes to trading Trey Lance, but I'm sure they're going to ask about the trade speculations. Could he possibly be moved? I'm curious to know how John Lynch is going to deflect that one. That I'm going to be tuned in. I have my popcorn ready. I'm going to be tuned in. I want to see how he deflects that one. And then, Nick Bosa's contract extension. Listen, it's getting down to the nitty gritty. We are almost in the month of May. We know that contract extension won't be done probably to around July-ish, I would say. Maybe before camp, maybe a little bit after camp, maybe during camp. I don't know, but it's going to come down to that. So I'm curious to know how he's going to address that particular question. Are there any other questions out there? And this is a time where I want you guys to post. What would be your juicy question for John Lynch? All right. I'm going to see if I can create a Q&S. And what would your question be to General Manager John Lynch, all right? So it's going to be out there. Again, it's a Q&A type of thing. I'm curious to know what your question would be for John Lynch, all right? Now, I do see a couple of questions up there, and, ooh, I know he's not going to answer that. Who you drafting at 99? It's a good question. That's a great question. That's a great question. Believe it or not. Hurricane 774, Brandon Ayuk's 5th-year option. Another good question. Are you going to give Brandon Ayuk the 5th-year option? Great question. And the funny thing is, that has to come up soon. That's what, May 6th? I believe that's the date. That's May 6th. Paul says, which 49ers content creator is your favorite and why? I wonder if John Lynch even listens to these shows. I feel like if he's on YouTube, he has to listen, right? He has to come across one or another. Usually when you're on YouTube, you kind of go down the rabbit's hole. Jack says, John Lynch, could you be real and upfront with me? What is going on with Trey? Just you, right, Jacqueline? Just be real and upfront with you. Here's a great one too. Bebop Jones. Remember we mentioned this about Parag becoming like general manager of a team, like a soccer team or something, a soccer club. I don't know what to call them. Is Parag staying? Any updates on Adam Peters? Will Adam Peters like leave before the draft? Oh my gosh, how juicy would that be if Adam Peters decided to go somewhere else? May 2nd is the deadline. I knew it was in May, so it's coming up really quickly. Oh, I like some of these questions. Keep going. Gregus Khan. Do you anticipate Danny Gray having a prominent role in the offense this year? I feel like here's John Lynch's answer to this question, Gregus Khan. We like Danny Gray. We believe we drafted Danny Gray early. We feel like he's going to really produce for us this year. But I'm going to leave that up to Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to leave it up to Kyle. I feel like that's going to be his answer. Y'all let me know, thumbs up if I got that one right, or thumbs down if I got that one wrong. But I feel like that's going to be his answer. Jack says, John Lynch, will you guys draft a safety? I like it. Just come get straight out. Here's a question that needs to be answered. Who will be the next boom box guy or girl? Like, who's the next boom box person? I think that's how I'm going to address that. Who will be the next boombox person? And no one knows as of right now. All right. 49 to me says exactly how he's gonna say it. That's him. That's he's gonna deflect as many things to Kyle. And we're not gonna hear from Kyle today. That's the funny part, right? We're definitely not gonna hear. Will the 49ers take all 11 picks or draft up? Ooh, that's a great question. That's a great question. He's not gonna. I don't know how he will respond to that one though. How will John Lynch respond to that question? I don't know. Dimflack says you guys get Drake Jackson on that peak. That you asking John? I think the crazy thing is we haven't seen Drake Jackson pretty much this whole offseason. So I'm curious to know, what they are with this offseason program. Bomber T says, did Brock have a full UCL tear or a partial? Keep it a buck, right? Keep it 100. If John Lynch was on this show, this would be a question from your boy Breezy. Did he have a full one or did he have a partial one? Keep it a buck. I feel like they keep things, at bay. They know what's really going on. But the way Brock was waving in that video, man, it didn't look like he tore anything. Be honest with you. Looked like he just got a boo-boo and he had some surgery and they're going to keep it moving. That's funny. Let me see if there are any more questions. Just looking to see. Bro Montana, Kobe Turner, Wake Forest is a music major. He is? I didn't know that. Why do you know that? Why? I love that you know that. I just want to know why you know it. Oh, here's a question. Now you're thinking. This is my man Hurricane. Speaking of Hurricane 774, listen, the draft is approaching. We need to get the new Madden rosters updated. I need you to help me get that because I'm ready to play some Madden with some of the new players, all right? So let me know how we can do that. All right, here we go. Are we drafting a running back in the 3rd round? That's a great question. You guys got some great questions. Oh, Bryant. Shout out to Bryant Cope. He says the boombox position has already been hired. Just from ECRG knows his name. I think it's Kevin. So they might have the new boombox player. Thank you, Bryant. I didn't know that. That sucks because they must have denied my application real quick, real fast. I would have flew out to every game just to be the boombox person, or whatever. Steve-O says they already hired the boombox guy according to ECRG as well. So thank you for both of you guys for putting that out there. All right. So again, John Lynch is speaking today, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We don't know what he's going to address. We don't know what he's really going to talk about. John Lynch might come out there talking about, I don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to definitely talk about all 4 of the things that are up there in the poll. But we shall see, man. And I appreciate you guys on that Q&A segment. All right, let's get to this mock draft. We got a mock draft that's going to be going on very shortly. Now, before I do the mock draft, I want to go over, and I did this a little bit on the Patreon. So in the Patreon, I kind of gave it like a full breakdown. So here, I just want to show you guys kind of like what the 49ers may be in need of the most. And so, guys, you can go ahead and put inside the chat which position do the 49ers need to address in this particular draft, and we'll go ahead and do the mock draft simulator right after this. But here we go. Look, the 49ers, as you can see, they're stacked at quarterback. If Brock Purdy does get put on, the injured reserve or whatever list that they put him on, they probably will be drafting a quarterback, or they will be looking to sign an undrafted guy. So listen, that number should go up to 4. We have 5 running backs on the roster. Again, I'm looking at that number to go up to 6. Or it may stay at 5. Kyle Juszczyk makes the fullback, makes the 5th. Could Elijah Mitchell possibly be traded? Could they draft another running back in the 5th round, 3rd round, 4th round, whatever? Wide receivers, the 49ers are working out they're privately working out wide receivers. You can see that they signed some depth. We have 9 wide receivers currently on the roster: Debo Brennan, Ray, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray, Tay Martin, Chris Conley, Daz Newsome, Tyron Johnson. They just worked out another kid privately on this past weekend. They're clearly going to address the wide receiver position. If I want you guys to pay attention, though, to the Ray McLeod and the Juwan Jennings. I feel like those are the types of players that the 49ers are going to be looking to draft, especially if they do tag Brandon Ayuk with the 5th-year option, right, which I'm hoping John Lynch addresses today. All right, Debo isn't going anywhere for a couple of years, and it would cost the Niners too much to get rid of him, period. So he's going to be here. But Brandon Ayuk, I don't expect to be traded. I do expect to be tagged. But Ray McLeod, Juwan Jennings are the 2 that contracts expire after this year. And we'll see what's going to happen. So look for those slot receivers. Look for slot receivers this year in this upcoming draft. It may not be any of the names that we've talked about, but look for those slot receivers. Tight ends. You can see we got 3. I feel like this is a position we need to upgrade for sure. I already know Charlie Warner's never going to develop into anything, and neither is Ross Dwelly, even though they keep these guys around. So go get me a tight end that can complement, to me, George Kittle the best. So tight end is a position that they can upgrade in, and that's what I'll do. Quarterbacks is a position that they can add depth. Running backs is a position that they can add depth and possibly upgrade. Wide receivers, depth. Tight ends, upgrade. Offensive tackles. Here are the 6 offensive tackles on the books: Trent Williams, Matt Pryor, Leroy Watson, Colton McKivitz, Jalen Moore, Alfredo Gutierrez. Look, they have depth. They need to upgrade here, right? I feel like this needs to be an upgraded position. Offensive tackles, guards, Aaron Banks, Jason Poe, Spencer Burford, Nick Zakel. I think they draft here for depth. I don't think they need to upgrade here. I feel like when it comes to the guards, Aaron Banks is your starting left. Spencer Burford is your starting right. Hell, if Jason Poe has a great camp or Nick Zakill has a great camp, one of those guys can be starting and they can possibly slide Spencer Burford. But I think they also draft an offensive lineman with versatility that can play guard, can play center, and maybe play even a little bit of tackle. Hey, Cody Mauch would be that guy that can play all the positions, all 5 of them on the offensive line. The 49ers could trade up into the second round to get a Cody Mauch. So it's a possibility that could be a guy that they're high on. Don't know. Don't have the insider on that. I'm just putting out speculation. Centers, Jake Brendo, John Feliciano, Keith Ishmael. I'm not looking for the 49ers to draft a center here. Not after the Jake Brendo extension. He got a 4-year extension. I feel like he's going to be the center going forward. I think the 49ers liked him. Again, a Pro Bowl alternate in 2022. And then they have centers for their other teams, right? Your second team, your third team, you have centers. If they're going to draft from the offensive line, expect the 49ers to get an offensive lineman that can be versatile, that can play guard, that can play center, and possibly even play a little bit of tackle. Those are the players that they're going to look into to draft in. Let's move on over to the defensive tackles. Again, stacked position. Can we upgrade here? Interesting, right? Because I'm saying to myself, Javon Kinlaw, I want to see play for us last year, but it's a possibility they move on from Kinlaw and then they draft another defensive tackle that can give them some high upside. Again, McGill, Givens, 1-year deals. Kalia Davis, unproven on NFI last year. He will get an opportunity to participate on that defensive front this year, so we'll see what happens. All right. Edge rushers. I skipped over that category. Nick Bosa, Drake Jackson, Cleveland Farrell, Kerry Hyder Jr., Austin Bryant, Alex Barrett. I was so excited when the 49ers re-signed Kerry Hyder Jr. because that felt like it capped off the depth that they needed at that position. I'm super comfortable in letting Kerry Hyder Jr. start opposite Nick Bosa. I want it to be Drake Jackson, but I'm comfortable with Kerry Hyder Jr. starting. Why? Because I know he can be productive in a Chris Kosiric defensive system. How do I know? He did it 1 year, and then he went and got his contract. He went to Seattle for a couple of years, and then he came back to the Niners, and they asked him to be a hybrid guy, inside, outside. This year, I don't think he has to play inside. I feel like, look at the defensive tackles. We have tackles there. Again, the 49ers on that defensive front, they got about 12 players right now on their current roster. I think they only take 11. So one of these guys are 10. They might go at 10. All right. Maybe 5 edge rushers, 5 defensive tackles. We'll see how it turns out in practice with those shows. But again, I think they're going to find a way not to add depth. I think they look for an upgrade here in the edge rushing position. All right. So depth at defensive tackle, upgraded edge rusher. Linebackers, it's Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Oren Burks, Marcelino McCrary-Ball, Demetrius Flanagan-Files, Curtis Robinson. When I'm looking at this, I'm like, it's Warner, Greenlaw. Who's going to be that Sam linebacker? All right, who's going to be the opposite, the weak side? Who's going to be that guy that's going to be there on base downs, 4-3, when they have 2 wide receiver sets, a guy that can make the most tackles? Is it going to be Demetrius Flanagan-Files? Is it going to be Oren Burks, McCrary-Ball, Curtis Robinson? It might not be any of those guys. They may draft a guy. They may draft a linebacker that can sure tackle, right? So look for linebackers, 2 different types of linebackers I want you to look for. Look for linebackers that cover well, has a lot of pass deflections, things like that. And then look for linebackers that have the most tackles. I think that's how they address this particular draft when it comes to the linebacker spot. Safeties, 4. So linebackers would be depth. Safeties would be an upgrade. I love Tashawn Gibson, Talanoa Hufanga. Those are your starting safeties to me going into the season. But listen, the 49ers for the first year may have the option of drafting a safety high. I felt like they didn't have to draft one prior, even though we wanted them to. They still don't now. They have their starters for this year penciled in. But then when you look at the depth, it's Taylor Hawkins and George Odom. So I would be looking for a safety that could potentially not just be depth, but be a starting safety, God forbids, if something happens, right? And so you want to be able to plug and play and keep it moving, keep the wheels turning. Look, I feel like you can be upgraded and have depth at this position. Look for the 49ers to draft a safety possibly in the 3rd round, definitely by the 5th round. Look for that. And then again, it depends on how the board falls. Cornerbacks, I feel like the 49ers have 9 of them. Mooney Ward, Deommodore Lenoir, those are your starters, right? Samuel Womack, Ambry Thomas, Trace Willing, Quantrez Knight, Miles Hartfield, Isaiah Oliver, A.J. Parker. Here's what I would do at the cornerback position. And I see Jack says Jair Brown is the guy. Jason, I see some of your questions, guys. I'll get to some of your questions at the end. I'm just trying to do this little presentation of what the roster currently looks like. So here we go. Look, I'm looking at the cornerbacks positions, and I'm saying to myself, look, if I'm the 49ers, I have a new defensive coordinator. His name is Steve Wilks. He likes bigger press man type of corners, even though we're going to play a lot of zone. He likes those press man corners. I think he likes what he has in Mooney Ward. If there is a press man corner that's 6'2", 6'3", that's available in the 3rd round that they have a high grade on, I can see the 49ers drafting a cornerback in the 3rd round and then pushing Deommodore Lenoir back to the slot, which is where he started last season. Remember? Deommodore Lenoir got pushed to the second cornerback because of the injury to Emmanuel Mosley. Now your cornerback room just got better. Well, who am I looking at? Let's look at the kid from South Carolina, and I'll leave it at that. Like, I feel like if he's available somewhat, if he falls to that 3rd round, I can see the 49ers doing it. And we'll see who's available in this particular draft when we do this mock draft. But then you got our kicker. Possibly you can get an upgrade over Zane Gonzalez. I mean, Zane Gonzalez isn't costing the 49ers any money this year, so they, why not bring in a kicker for competition? 3 kickers that I like: Jake Moody, Chad from Maryland, and then my man Chris Dunn from North Carolina State. Those are the 3 kickers I feel like the 49ers need to go after. All right. We got our punter and we got our long snapper, which are locks right there. So that's just a quick glance at the roster. If you want the full breakdown on everybody that I talked about, it's on the Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/Wayne Breezy. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is get ready for this last and final Monday mock draft. All right. And we're already on the clock. So let me go ahead and share the screen with you guys. And you can see we're on the clock. Now, I just talked about size. I just talked about what types of players may be available. And I want you guys to pay attention. It's going to be not an offensive mock draft, not a defensive mock draft. This is going to be my last go shot at getting this mock draft right. Now, I did talk about size. 49ers are on the clock. They got a couple of picks right here. I tell you what, let's make this a fan mock draft, being that this is the last one. All right. And let's go with who you want to draft in this mock draft. All right. And so this is not going to be a breezy thing. I want to know what you guys are going to do. This is a fan mock draft 10.0. The 49ers are on the clock. Now, remember, we got some time. I know there's a little bit of lag out there, whatever or whatnot. Which position do you want to address first in this particular draft? Here's what we have available on the board. Okay, let me see if I can make it a little bigger so you can see a little bit better. There's cornerbacks, interior guys, safeties, tight ends. All right, I want you to pay attention to where PFF has them, the ADP number. All right, so I'm looking in the chat and I see edge. So I tell you what, you guys are going to give me the position, and then if the value is good, I'll draft the player. If the value is bad, I'll go to the next position. So right now, I'm looking at edge. You're giving me the first 3 positions. You said edge. You said tackle. Let's add tackle. Offensive tackle. Ooh. So I didn't expect this to be here, so I'm going to go with the right tackle. I'm going to go ahead and get Blake Freeland, who's available. And this is a good thing because now the 49ers have a bookend tackle that they can come in and develop, and they didn't waste a first-round pick. Here's the thing, right? Many people are comparing Blake Freeland to Mike McGlinchey. Well, if he's being compared to Mike McGlinchey, that's a good-ass thing, right? That means at least he'll be great in the run game, and he might struggle in the pass protection game. But We didn't waste the first round pick on him. He's younger. He's more athletic. There's some positives to Blake Freeland, guys. I understand that his blocking, his pass protection may be a little bit of suspect. Blake Freeland, if he's available, that's a guy. And guess what? The 49ers didn't have to trade up to get him. How cool is that? All right. Even if he doesn't start Gregus Khan, he can develop into that. He's a third-round pick. Most third-round picks don't start. I'm just saying. But that doesn't mean he can't come in and show while he's gaining the strength. He could be a redshirt guy. This is what the 49ers do. Like they get guys and they draft them for the following year. All right. So we addressed the right tackle position. Where do you guys want to go next? All right. You guys said edge. So let's look at edge. What are the next two positions? We got tackle. Crazy Juice says safety. We'll look at safeties as well. All right. I like Isaiah McGuire. Think he's a good fit, but I really want Yaya Diaby. Now, I'm going to reach to get one. I'm going to look at the safety positions. All right. I see Jamie Robinson smacking me in the face. I want a free safety, but I see Jair Brown smacking me in the face. I feel like Jair Brown is the better safety for the 49ers. Again, these are going to be a couple of picks we're going to have to reach to get. You can see Jamie Robinson's, his average draft position is in the 86s, but Jair is there. Am I going to go Jair Brown, or am I going to go with the edge rusher Yaya Diaby? I really feel like those are two guys that I want there. Gregus Connor says, no way in hell that we're drafting a safety. I'm going to go grab Yaya first. I'm going to address the trenches. I feel like he would be a perfect fit. I know it's a reach up. They'll probably give us a bad grade. Let's look at tight ends before we go to safeties. Now, the tight ends, the top tight ends are pretty much off the board. I know a lot of people are giving Schoonmaker a bad rep. Can I just tell you a little bit about Schoonmaker? When it comes to Schoonmaker, like, you're not going to get the production that you probably saw from a lot of the other tight ends because, A, he had injury. B, Michigan struggled at the quarterback position. So even wide receiver Ronnie Bell, like, they all suffered. If you were a running back in Michigan, which both of them stayed, you would have been high in this draft. I feel like with tight end, we can probably get Brenton Strange, Schoonmaker, Davis Allen, Zach Kuntz, Payne Durham, Josh Wow. They'll be there. I know people saying that we're not going to draft the safety high. I'm going to defy the odds and say that the 49ers go with a safety in the third round. Bam. I'm saying it. It won't be a running back this year. It'll be a third round. Now, let's go look at cornerback positions again. I like Travius Hodges-Tomlinson. He's right there. He's sitting right there. Not a big guy. Look at him. He's tiny. They got him listed as 5'8". I tell you what, though, he plays big. Could be a really nice fit. I tell you what, here we go. You ready? Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, Jair Brown. I think that's how you say his name. Or Jair Brown. Which one are we going with? Tomlinson or Jair Brown? Because, see, personally, if we're going to get a cornerback, yeah, man, he's tiny, bro. He's tiny. But he plays big. Like, he's a big playmaker. I'm not a homer. T-Jack, how am I a homer for the Wolverines? All I did was spit out facts. I didn't say I was going to draft Schoonmaker. I'm just saying he's getting a bad rep, but I wanted to put out there why he's getting a bad rep. He's getting a bad rep because no quarterback and injury. I would do that for any player, but I happen to watch them more. All right, we're going to go back to the safety. You guys are telling me to get the safety, so I'm going to go with Jair Brown. Third round, 49ers drafted a safety. They will have their free safety for the next several years. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be really fun watching Jair Brown and Talanoa Hufanga make plays. I will put that out there. I'm gonna put that out there. All right, we're back on the clock. Now it's fifth round. We don't usually draft tight ends in the third round either, but everybody wanted me to look for tight end. But last time I checked, the tight end we got on this team was a fifth round gem. Let's go to the damn tight end positions. I see Payne Durham and Josh Wow. I'm going tight end here. Now I think I'm going tight end here. I think I'm going to go tight end here. Ooh, Deuce Vaughn is available. Andrew Voorhees is available. We got 3 fifth-round picks. I like Andrew Voorhees. You can redshirt him this year. He can play guard. Again, that's another position. I said that we'll address the offensive line. I do like Schoonmaker. I do want those guys, but that doesn't mean I'm going to draft those guys. Keaton Mitchell is going to be there. Ooh, we can get some steals in the 5th round. We pick 155th, 164th, and 173rd in this round. Uchi Wally, Uchi bang bang. Where do I want to go? Would you be mad if I draft Andrew Voorhees? I see Jacqueline saying, give me Andrew Voorhees. Would you guys be upset if I drafted him and kind of Jason gave me Andrew Voorhees? You guys are saying go tight end, but Andrew Voorhees could be a steal. You can redshirt him, right? He won't play this year. I just listened to him today. But I will tell you this. Andrew Voorhees sounds like he's recovering very well, and he feels like with today's technology, he's going to be good to go in the fall. What's going on, Dion? You know what? Well, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh, did you see his run blocking grade? Ooh, my. Yeah, he would be a steal. Again, if you haven't been following Andrew Voorhees, he was injured during the combine. Here's what I liked about Andrew Voorhees, right? So after he was injured, he tore his ACL. This mother sucker trucker, right, went and did the bench press and put up the most reps with no knees. Well, he had one knee, but the ACL was bent. I'm like, dude. I see Gregor said he'd rather have Mafi, probably because you can utilize Mafi. And I really think Andrew Voorhees would be better fit than Mafi. But I do like Antonio Mafi from UCLA. Either way, it's going to be, it's going to be a California guy. 49er Media says, what is the bench press? That just told me how strong he was, I guess. I know people don't really value the bench press, but it lets me know that they cannot be moved. If a defensive lineman is trying to move them, good luck. Good luck. I don't think that the 49ers, I see Jason says quarterback next. I'm going to go with the tight end position here. Again, I like Payne Durham. I'm going to check running backs. Keaton Mitchell was there. I see several tight ends I could get. I see Sean Tucker out of Syracuse. For me, I think the 49ers need speed. So if I'm looking at speed, I'm just going to give you the speed. Keaton Mitchell is top-notch speed. All right? Keaton Mitchell, top-notch speed. This might be a push to get him, but I say they draft a running back in the 5th round. All right? Now, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is smacking me in the face. It's kind of telling me if I want Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I'm going to have to get him now because I'm not going to be able to get him in the 6th round. It's way too far away. I did see Jason say I need to take a quarterback here. I'm going to listen to Jason. I think the 49ers snatch a quarterback in the 5th round. His name is Dorian Thompson-Robinson. All right. I saw Jake Hayner there. I just feel like Dorian Thompson-Robinson gives the team the mobility and things that the team needs. Clayton Tune is there, another accurate quarterback. All right. So now we're in the 6th round. We still didn't address the tight end position. We got to go tight end here. We got to see who's available, and they're all gone. But have no fear, because I do know that the 49ers like Braden Willis. Braden Willis is the tight end from Oklahoma. Looks like he can play split end because he knows how to get open. I know a lot of people aren't going to like the pick because he's ranked low. I think this might be a steal in the draft. Hey, in 2017, just a reminder, they drafted George Kittle in the 5th round, and look how that worked. So I'm going to get Braden Willis in the 6th round. All right, and here we go. This is where the 49ers can kind of like hit the nail on the head. This is how they sign, seal, and deliver in the draft. It's the 7th round, and, they're going to go and grab players with the best development. They may double up at some positions, okay? Jose Ramirez is staring me in the face. The 49ers haven't addressed the linebacking position. I do think they get a linebacker in the 7th round. I talked about getting a tackler. Charlie Thomas. Aubrey Miller can play really well in pass coverage. D. Winters has the speed. I don't like Ventrell Miller from Florida. I don't know why I don't like him. I just don't like the Florida linebackers. I feel like they play slow. Again, all right, so which position are we going? I see doop 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 doop. Braden Willis, we got Jose Ramirez is where everybody wants to go here. So I say they double up at Jose Ramirez. Let's go ahead and get another edge. Let's get so Jose Ramirez, the difference between him and Yaya, Jose is the bigger edge rusher, right? The one that weighs the more. He doesn't have the speed, but he has the power. So you're doubling up. You're getting power on one side, speed on the other side. I know you're about to pay Nick Bosa, but again, they're looking for the perfect complement, to Nick Bosa. And it could possibly be a reason why they're not signing a guy like Yannick Ngakoue, because there's a guy like Jose Ramirez that provides that power. Okay, that provides that power. All right, let's go to next. A lot of people want us to draft a kicker. I'm probably the only person that feels like the kickers may go undrafted. Now, I do think we need to get a linebacker here, guys. This is actually fun. This is probably the most fun I've had on a mock draft Monday. Shout out to you guys out there. So look, linebacker, it's going to come down between Charlie Thomas from Georgia Tech, who had over 120 tackles, right? Who can be the perfect complement in replacing a guy like Azeez Al-Shaair? You draft a linebacker that you don't have to pay much money to. This is why I think it's going to be a 7th round position. I love Aubrey Miller because he can cover. He can get you past deflections. He has 4.71 speed, but I don't think that matters when you're looking at the linebackers. But I really feel like, let me take off the DIs, my bad. May go interior. And then I'll check to see we didn't draft a wide receiver here yet either. So let me go look at the wide receivers. Let me just see who's available. All right. A bunch of names you guys probably don't notice, but the one that rings a bell for me is Nico Remigio out of Fresno State. Now, the 49ers invited him to the local pro day, and he looked pretty damn good. Grant Dubose out of Charlotte. It's another one. Okay. Keaton Thompson, big wide receiver, like 6'4", 6'5", big guy. Jalen Wayne out of South Alabama. I feel like we can get Nico in the 7th round too. Let's go with the linebacker here. Let's go with Charlie Thomas. Give me the tackling guy. Base downs. You bring him in. You know he can rap and tackle, damn it. You know he can rap and tackle. I know Crazy Juice says I think we're good at linebacker. I don't know if they're sold on that, that third guy. It's possible that one of those linebackers can kind of like move up, but you can get a tackling machine in this draft, which means he'll probably be starting on special teams if he's a tackling machine. You guys said you wanted to look at wide receivers, so let's go to wide receiver. We got 2 more picks left, 53 and 55. I don't know why I like Grant Dubose, but I just do. You can see where he lines up. He's an outside guy opposed to an inside guy. I think the 49ers go more with the inside guy. Let's see where Nico. All right. And see, this is the difference. And so remember at the beginning of this joint, I talked about possibly, getting a guy that can come in here, line up in the slot, 5'11", short guy. I think it's going to be Nico, man. I'm going to go with Nico here. And then let's try and see which kickers are available on special. He's smacking me in the face. Andrew Smith, I don't know how to say his name for Syracuse, is another good kicker I meant to talk about as well. Chad Ryland is there. This is tough. All right, I'm going to let you pick the kicker, guys. Jake Moody, Chad Ryland, Christopher Dunn, or Andrew Smite. I think that's how we're going to say his name. I got one Moody. I got a Moody. I need 3 of one name before I draft this player. You guys, I got one Ryland, 2 Rylands. If I get a Ryland next, that's going to be it. Crazy Juice, you're probably right. We can get a linebacker. I got 2 Moody's. Right now, it's Moody and Ryland. The next Moody or the next Ryland will be the pick. The next, and that's my cat, Ryland. The next Moody or the next Ryland. Come on, put it in that chat. I'm just waiting to see what comes through. There it is, Mimi B with the 3rd Moody. Jake Moody with the last pick in the draft. Now, I don't care about no grade. You guys did a great job. Give yourselves a round of applause out there. Just to recap, B+ on Blake Freeland. All right, you got a C on the Yaya because I reached a little bit high. But again, I felt like the 49ers were going to a speedier guy off the edge. All right, I got a D on the Jair Brown joint, and it's because I reached up high as well. And they probably feel like the 49ers don't necessarily need a safety. Andrew Voorhees got us a B+. Keaton Mitchell got us a B-. Dorian Thompson-Robinson got us an A-. Braden Willis got us a D+. Jose Ramirez an A. Charlie Thomas a B-. Nico C+. Moody C+. And that is the end of the mock drafting on the Wayne Breezy Show. It's the last one. Wow. Another round of applause to you guys. That was a great segment. Great segment. Way to end the joint on the mock draft. Let's get to this because the John Lynch joint is coming out. Now, I will say this with all the votes up here for the poll question. All right. John Lynch will be speaking again today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Just a reminder, Eastern Standard Time. That's 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. John Lynch will be live. All right. So the question was, what will 49ers John Lynch what will 49ers general manager John Lynch address the most today during his presser? Would it be about the quarterback competition, Brock Purdy's recovery, trading Trey Lance, Nick Bosa's extension? Okay. And 29% of you guys survey says the quarterback competition will be what they ask him about the most and that he'll have to address the most. That's a good one, man. Quarterback competition, because you get Trey Lance, you're going to get Sam Darnold, and then they're going to want to know about Brock Purdy, or who will they possibly be drafting to be a part of that competition. So I like it, man, with the poll question. All right, we got a little quick super chat segment that we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Then a couple of questions, and then we'll go ahead and get up out of here. Shout out to Jacqueline Knox. She says, I'm ready for this John Lynch presser. I wonder if he's going to address the quarterback situation. I'm ready for the draft. I'm just ready for the great content this week from Breezy. Oh, I appreciate that, Jacqueline. I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's doing well and you guys are healing. But listen, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat contribution. Thank you so much. All right. Now, a couple of questions that I see out there as well. I wanted to kind of just let you know that I saw them and I wanted to kind of address them. Mimi says, how did I become a faithful? So back in the 80s, my mom was a Cowboys fan and I grew up watching the 49ers and things like that and all that type of stuff. And so, they were the team on TV, and it was probably around 85, 86 where I kind of started watching football, that I remember. And I kind of gravitated toward the red and gold. I didn't go to the silver and blue-ish color, right? I went to the red and gold color, and then I fell in love with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and those guys, and just been a faithful ever since the mid-'80s. Got a chance to watch some Super Bowls, and then kind of took a break because we took a break as a team. And then in the 90s, we stayed competitive. In 94, we got that Super Bowl win, which is the one I remember the most because I remember being 11 or whatever, going to ninth grade and just bragging about the best damn team in the world, all right? And so that's how I became a member of the Faithful. It started at a young age. So over 30 years. Ronnie says, Breezy, do you think Brock will come back hesitant like Jimmy did after the surgery? I asked this question and people made it seem like, maybe I asked on somebody else's show. I think I was watching somebody's show and I asked the question there because what happened to the mental part of coming back from the injury? It's all good, the physical, yeah, they look good, they're cleared to play, but what about the mental stuff? You know? And I'm glad you asked this question because what if Brock in his own head, he gets in his own head? What if Brock gets in his own head and mentally he just doesn't look the same? You know? He just doesn't look the same. I don't know. Very interesting. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Last question. My man Jason says, Breezy, where do you buy your hats? Especially that fly all black lid. So listen, I actually in the chat, you could go on lids.com. There's a link to Lids that they do sponsor the show. Shout out to Lids. And so you can use that link and you know, support the channel, support the stream or whatever. But I get the majority of the hats from Lids, lids.com. They're in a new era, has some specific hats that I go to them and get as well. So check out Lids, man. They got some really good stuff. Some things will pop right in front of your face and some things you kind of got to like search for. But this hat is a Lids hat. And if you can see it, it's got the flag in it. So check them out, man. Check it out. Listen, guys, what a great show. Another round of applause for you guys out there, man. Shout out to the Breezy's Brunch crew. You guys are amazing. Listen, Nitty Gritty Niners tonight is going to be special. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have the crew there. I'm hoping all four of us will be there at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the same show, we're going to have a special guest. 49er Media will be here. He'll be here to do his official 3-round mock draft. And that's going to be interesting because we're going to be drafting for the other teams as well as the computer, and then he's going to have to pick who he feels are going to be those first 3 picks for the San Francisco 49ers. So it's going to be really fun. Make sure you guys tune into that as well. All right. Don't miss out on another great show. And we'll end the show with this last super chat contribution from Peachy Brown. Foghorn to her. Need everyone to get ready to watch the NFL Draft Family show with the NGN Talk crew and Nothing But Niners. Come and kick it with all of us for complete draft coverage. Hashtag the BB. It's time to take 6. All right, so just for the schedule, I'll be live with John Chapman and the CC crew, the Countdown crew on Thursday night, and then on Friday night, I'll be live with the Nitty Gritty Niner Talk crew, and the Nothing But Niner crew will be simulcasting at the same time on Friday night together. So make sure you guys support both streams. That means if you guys got to open up one browser, Google Chrome, one browser, Internet Explorer, Firefox, do so. Watch it on both streams, guys, please. We're trying to, build the brand here and have some fun. And have some fun, all right? So it's going to be interesting. And then on Saturday, it's going to be whatever it is on Saturday. It's the long day, but the draft starts April 27th. It's been a real good show. Thank you guys for the Super Chat contributions. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, all right? Wednesday. And then tonight, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Nitty Gritty Niners Talk. Stay up, guys. Stay faithful, and always keep it nitty gritty. Thanks for watching.